spring grows strong. Sorry about that. Oh god. Yay. What a start to the stream. Oh my goodness. Hi. So I hit start stream and something happens. I have to go take care of it. It takes a bit too long. I rush back, say hello, and choke on my own saliva. Hooray. Oh man, this is auspicious. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Vessel. Congrats on first. How are you doing? Oh god, sorry. My throat. Alright, hopefully it'll calm down. But yeah. How's everyone doing? I'm fresh out of content. I'm completely fresh out of content. I finished both the games that I was playing last week. So managed to finish Mafia Definitive Edition. Really good game. And managed to finish Baldur's Gate. At least the base game. There's still the DLC Siege of Dragonspear that we just got thrown into. I will have to see. I might continue that on Thursday. Just straight up continue it. And then I'll have to see what to do on Tuesdays. And if I can even have another day beside that. Most likely candidate right now is possibly Monday. I am not completely sure. However, because work is work, usually I'm teaching a student right now, and usually the class is on Sundays, except in August, I was just contacted. It's like, oh yeah, in August, there's a couple of Sundays that he can't make it. So I'll have to shift those classes around to other days, and one of the possible days is a Tuesday, hooray, or a Monday, so I can't even do my Monday streams if I want to start them up. So yeah, I still don't know when exactly, but it's like at least one Tuesday is going to be affected. So I'm going to wait to know when all the schedule changes are, what exactly the days are that I can stream, and what the days are that I have to go to work. And then I will see if it's worth starting something big. Then, if I can even find something good to start. Like, I'm not sure what game I may want to go for next. Not a role-playing game. I have a whole bunch of those, but I want to keep those to its own thing. If there are any other old games that are not worth playing, but that I want to stream, right? That I want to show and share with everyone. I was also thinking I could do some creative stuff. That's the idea for having a third day, by the way. So right now, the idea is one streaming day is reserved for role-playing games. Those old role-playing games. Because my neighbors are drilling. Is it coming through on stream? I hope not. Doesn't look like it is. Okay. Yeah. Which reminds me, there is gonna be an air raid drill today at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So we're gonna have our air raid sirens go off. Even if they somehow get filtered off, I mean, they are supposed to be so loud that everyone hears them anywhere in the city, right? and even if they somehow get filtered out, they will be so loud that I won't be able to hear myself think. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. They won't be going on for a whole long while, but maybe a minute or two, maybe. I don't remember when the last time was that I had that I've been through an air raid drill. So yeah. Um, that's happening today. Hooray! um, but yeah, so the plan is one day for role playing games. I have a whole list. Like holy heck, I have such a long list. It'll take me like 5 years to get through all those games or something. Um, and then one day is for old games. That I grew up with or that I have wanted to play as a kid, but never got the chance to. And then one day is for creative stuff. So like tabletop workshop, for instance. I'm running a little bit low on creative juice right now, so I haven't really had a lot of time to think of, or not a lot of time, and not a lot of energy to think of game designs I want to do and such. Um, but maybe I will get some if I stream some tabletop workshop again, and other things like editing together some videos. I did one of those on stream once where I edited together a short video. Uh, I'm thinking of doing a video where I compare like my like a summary of the comparison between the original Mafia and Mafia Definitive Edition. Right, because I talked a lot about that while playing the games. Right? So there's definitely some points to raise. I'm thinking maybe record or edit together something like that um, as part of streaming, as or doing it live on stream rather. That's what are words? um, do that live on stream because I also have a couple of other days where I sometimes have things or I don't have as much time to stream, but I have a bit of time to myself and I have other creative projects that I am pursuing in those times, and I want to keep that a secret. Well, not that I'm working on it. I've mentioned that I'm working on it. But like, what it is. I kind of want to keep that under wraps for now. Um so yeah. Uh So if I can use streaming time to do some other creative stuff, video editing, game design, I don't know, art in general, writing, whatever it is, right? Some music, maybe. I've also done that. That's another thing. It's like I know that Twitch changed.
Raiding party!
Oh,
You must
hey!
gather your party before venturing forth.
Yuzu Adagio, hello, hello. How are you doing? Welcome, Raiders, welcome. How's it going? Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chichin. I am a Bard VTuber, and I usually play old games and or role-playing games, but today I don't have anything planned. How is everyone doing? I hope you are having a... What day do we have today? Tuesday? I have Tuesday. Do you still have Tuesday? Please let me know. In any case, I hope you had a lovely start to the week. What were you doing? You were doing retro. Barely Monday. Barely Monday. Okay, okay. So yeah, the last minutes, hours of the start of the week. So I hope you had a good start, and I hope you had a good stream. You were playing retro. What was that? What Donkey Kong Country? Oh wow. Okay, that really is a classic. Nice, nice, nice. You finished it? Awesome. I hope You had a great time with that. And Junker Gibson, welcome as well. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing? I love DKC. Yeah, I've never. That's always the thing. Like I know of all of these games, and I kind of sort of know what's happening in them, but I've never played them. I've never played them. Retro Game Shuffler. Ooh, 13 games swapped in and out at random. Oh, that sounds wild. So like in mid-play, you would just play and then suddenly boom switches to another game and then you have to adapt and be like, "Oh no, what do I do now?" Oh, that sounds so much fun. Wow. I will have to check out the VOD and see how that went. Oh, that's amazing. That's so 13 different games. What games were in there then? I mean, Donkey Kong Country obviously one of them, but then were the others also like platformers, or did you have things like I don't know what games on then? Star Fox maybe, or I don't know other classic games in there, Bomberman or such, where it's like completely different and you have to completely switch gears. It's mostly platformers and stuff. Okay, fair, fair. Oftentimes in mid jump. Wow. Oh, and then you switch back to the game, and then you're falling, and then you have to go, oh no, right, I was in here jumping. Today was a lot of Bomberman. Aha! A lot of baseball stars. Okay. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Dang. And you managed to finish one of the games during that? That is impressive, I would say. But yeah, cool. That sounds really cool. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, like I didn't grow up with consoles. I didn't grow up with them at all. I still don't have one, or at least not a functioning one. I don't I don't know console games, and I suck with controllers. So it's always so much fun seeing people play these old games. It's like, yeah, no, I saw these everywhere. If I went to, I don't know, a department store or a game store back in the early 2000s, they had the displays up where you could play them, right? Or even in the late 90s, right? They had consoles and a TV set up, and you could sit there and play whatever game they happened to have inserted there. I know, except all the older kids would stand there and play all the time, and the younger kids like me would stand around and just watch them and be like, "I'll never get to play this." um, yeah, and yeah, but that's how I knew of a lot of games, or sometimes friends would have a console and such. Um, it's like, oh yeah, sure, I know this game, and then I would play it for an hour at a friend's place or something, and then never touch it again for the rest of my life. So it's like I don't even know which one Donkey Kong Country is. I know Donkey Kong, I know there's a Diddy Kong, I know there's a lot of animals and bananas, but I don't know what games there are. I don't know which one Donkey Kong Country is. I don't know how many Donkey Kong games there are. I don't know what happens in them other than jumping and collecting bananas, I guess. So it's a lot of like, yeah, I have some impression, but I just don't know. It's and that sums it up a lot, to be fair. I mean, yeah, I guess. What is it? I was rewatching like one of my favorite episodes of Extra Credits, a YouTube series, Extra Credits, that talks about game design a lot, or at least the original Extra Credits series talks about game design. So obviously, I watched basically all of them back then. Um, well, there's one that talked about game music, and it's game music captions, please. Although game music is also okay. Um, but yeah, so it was talking about how back in the 80s and 90s, well, not so much 90s, but like in the 80s, the game music was very Big fan, yeah. Was very simple, right? And kind of sort of repetitive at times, which is like it's always the same thing over and over, which is okay because back in those games you just did the same thing over and over, right? So in Mega Man, for instance, the soundtrack was just the same thing, but then again you only did the same thing. It's like jumping, shooting, and running to the right. And it's like, yeah, okay, that sums up Mega Man. Yeah, yeah, that sounds like the game. Yes. So yeah, the wide gap in quality, even just in the games I'm playing. Yeah, there really is, and it's like it feels like the late 80s, early 90s were the era of the platformer more than anything else. It's like if you look at, I mostly see these at GDQ, which I think just happened, right? Games Done Quick, the speedrun event. Um, like a lot of games from that era, uh, that especially like licensed games, right? Games from other properties like cartoons or toys or things like that. They're basically all just platformers. Like every single one of them. Just a platformer, and all you did was have the main character of the show in there and have some enemies from the show or the toy line or whatever, the movie, etc. in there, and that's it. But it's just a platformer. It's like, oh wow, there's so many. I mean, it makes for amazing speedruns because platformers are high skill usually, and they express your skill in a speedrun at that. I know there were so many. Like there's a Batman platformer, and there's an Aladdin platformer, and a Lion King platformer, and multiple like DuckTales platformers, and I don't even know. It's just like, yeah, it's the same thing, right? One dungeon was just the force save, no pattern forever. Oh god. Oh no, that's gonna become grating. Oh, that sounds horrible. Um, and it's probably some weird minor chord or some weird diminished chord maybe. It's like that's extra grating. Ugh. Um yeah, that's but yeah, there were so many of those. Heck, there's an Animorphs platformer. It's horrible, and a lot of those games were practically shovelware, right? It's just, oh, we're banking on making money through the license, through the property, and not through the game, like the quality of the game. So a lot of those games were not great. Um, yeah, there is an Animorphs platformer, and it's apparently atrociously horrible. Um, it was played a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think, during the horrible games block, awful games block that they had at GDQ. Right, at GDQ they always have blocks of themed games, right? That so it can be like, oh, we have the Sonic block, or we have the RPG block, or we have the whatever something block, and then they also have an awful games block, and the Animorphs game was in there. I think it was even an unlock. So in case you don't know how GDQ works, which really cool event. So GDQ stands for Games Done Quick, and it's a speedrunning event that happens twice a year, and it's an entire week, 24/7, an entire week of just games, speedruns, right? So where they have a whole list of all the games before that, and then they do that for charity, right? So the whole point is that people go there, speed run, show off speedrunning tricks and skills and new records, etc. And during that week, they collect money for charity, for cancer research, and for Doctors Without Borders. And to incentivize people to donate, they have a lot of goals that you can unlock, right? It's like, oh, if we collect $3,000 for this goal, we will unlock this game. So we will put this game into the schedule. Uh, and and there's time limits on them. It's like, yeah, okay, you have until the end of this game to unlock the next game and such. And Animorphs was one of those unlocks. Apparently, because people just they kept saying, yeah, it's a horrible game, you don't want to see this, it's so bad, and people were like, no, 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 we want to see this. Here, take our money. Every GDQ I say I'm gonna get into, the next one looks like so much fun, but it always sneaks up. Like, get into as in like go there as a viewer. Like, they live stream everything, right? So they have their own Twitch channel. Just watching? Yeah. Okay. Um it does look like a lot of fun. And like the speed runs. Oh, hold on, I have to close the door real quick. And the speed runs themselves are just the main thing, right? They have a whole room with arcade machines set up. They have like a room with board games set up. They have other things there. You can talk to the runners. You can talk to like indie developers who are often also there, right? You can, I don't know. They have a lot of stuff there, and so going there seems like, yeah, it's a whole event. Um, and sometimes you just get really tired people sitting in the crowd at like 3 or 4 a.m. local time, because that's the time when the game they really want to watch is on. And then the whole room, like, because when you watch the stream, right, they show you the runner, but then in the background you can see a bit of the rest of the room with all the chairs set up with audience. And then in some games, especially if it's like in the day or afternoon and such, the room is completely full. And then when it's in the middle of the night, there's like 3 people sitting in the audience cheering on the runner. It's pretty special. Um, but yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, going there is probably a lot of fun. For me especially, it's so far away. Like, it's in the U.S. So they also have a lot of runners now who are not actually at the event, which is pretty cool. Right, they did that with COVID. So with COVID, they still had a small team set everything up, and then have all the runners be online, right? Kind of like a video conference, like remote work from home speed running for the event. And apparently that went so well, and they were able to feature a lot of runners who are good runners, but who can't travel to the US for that week, because, whatever reasons, usually money or time or both. Um, so I think right now they do have a hybrid model. Um, they do have runners who are actually there, but then a bunch of runners are also dialed in remotely, which is a cool change, right? Allows them to feature more people, more diverse people from all over the place. So that's really cool. Um, yeah. Oh. Oh, it was just Doti Lasso. Oh no. What is it? Uh, uh, da 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 da. That? Yeah. Da 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 da. Oh no, that sounds horrific. Oh no. We're back to the dungeon. Um. But yeah. Games. I still remember my first GDQ. I was like, what is happening? What are people watching, or what are they doing on there? Um, and then some friends told me, yeah, they're trying to play the game as quickly as possible. I was like, what? How is that fun? How is that fair? What are you doing? But yeah, the more I watched, the more I got into it. And I have to say, adapting a kind of speed run mentality for games, it's been so liberating. Like I've tried a single speed run before. And I did okay for my very first try ever. Um, but just the idea of it's a lot of work. Yes, it is. It really is. Um, I have a friend who speed runs, and in fact, there's another speed run event called uh, ESA, the European Speedrunners Association, which is a lot smaller than the GDQ, like a lot smaller. But they still do events. They do a similar thing. They do marathon events for a week or so, where they also collect money for charity. But instead of having like 10,000 viewers, they have 2,000, maybe, or maybe like 1,000, right? If at that. So it's a lot smaller. And I have a friend who speedruns, and he actually got to do a run on there. That was pretty cool. He ran Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I believe. Yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and that was. Yeah, I mean, I knew he was gonna run because he was practicing the game on stream for a whole bunch before that. Um, and then he told everyone, "It's like, oh, I'm running here, and so this is my slot." And then I actually got to watch him run live. That was pretty cool. Uh, and it's because there's so few people watching compared to GDQ, right? When you donate, you can also donate with a chat message or with a donation message. And on GDQ, the chance of your message being read out is not great because they get so many messages, right? It's impossible to read all of them. But on ESA, right, uh it's like if you donate, there are so few donations comparatively that they will get to all the messages, and heck, they will even read chat. Chat moves slowly enough that they can read it. And my proudest moment ever was um completely I don't know if I should be proud of that, but completely what is it? Flustering. Not flustering, that's not the word, but like disorienting a streamer in the middle of his run because I asked a question. So, he was doing a 100% Fallout 3 run. And in Fallout 3 and Fallout 3 runs, at least the thing he was going for, the category, 100% includes collecting all of the bobbleheads in there. And some of them are missable, right? So if you don't do them and you progress too far in the quests, that bobblehead becomes unavailable afterwards, right? And then you basically fail the run. So one of them was like, oh yeah, I have to go into this one area. Remember to collect the bobblehead because later on this area becomes inaccessible afterwards, right? And um so he kept mentioning, okay, that's one of the big missable ones. I have to remember to get it. And then he went through the area, did the quests, came out, right? Area became inaccessible. And then I hadn't been paying too much attention, so I just wrote in chat, wait, did he collect the bobblehead? Right? I just wrote that question. And I didn't intend for him to read it. I didn't even know that he was gonna read it. But he read it and was like, did I collect the bobblehead? Yes, I did. Wait, did I? And then he started doubting himself. and started like questioning himself and was like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" And then he had to ask his co-commentators, like, "Wait, did I pick it up?" And so it's like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry." Um, seriously, I did not think that he would read the chat messages. I didn't even know he was able to read the chat messages. But that was yeah, that was like the most impact I ever had on a live speedrun event ever. Um, so that's yeah, that is like my proudest moment, my contribution to speedrunning is like getting a speedrunner confused about whether or not he just failed the run in the middle of his run. So yeah, that was. I think that I think if you check VODs of that event, that might still be in there. So, I don't know. I didn't check. I was too taken aback myself. um, but yeah, he was just saying, don't confuse me, don't confuse me like that. So yeah, so that's a completely different feeling, right? If you watch GDQ, you feel like a one in several thousand people, a completely anonymous viewer, and then in ESA, it feels a lot more uh interactive because people actually read chat, people read all the donation messages and so on. And your donations have a much larger impact because the goals are a lot lower and so on. So they're both cool and speedrunning is really cool, but yeah. It's a different feeling, definitely. I don't know how we got here. I don't know why we talked so much, why I delved so deep into um I guess that's just my brain. Like I pick some topic and then I info dump. So hooray, welcome to my stream. This is what we do. um I mean, no, this really is what we do. Play a game or I talk about something and then something comes up in the game or some thought crosses my head and then I will rant for half an hour about that. Yeah. So now you know. Um I don't know what I will do today though. I I mentioned earlier hold on, let me I mentioned earlier that my work schedule for August is gonna be a bit messy, and it might take away a couple of days where I usually stream. So it might eat into my Tuesdays. It might eat into my Mondays, where I'm planning to do a third stream, possibly. Third stream day per week. Right now, I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the Tuesday, I might have something to do, and the Monday, I might have something to do. Um, so I'm not planning on starting anything big right now if I don't know whether or not I'll just be like cutting or just like start it now and then oh the next time we come back to this will be in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something because of work schedule. Um so I don't want to do that. Um yeah. So which is why today I don't know. I'm just talking. I might play something in the background. Yeah, let's see. Let me play play something in the background because why not? But yeah, that's why I'm just chatting. Usually, I'm playing. So Thursdays right now, I'm playing role-playing games. Old role-playing games that I grew up with. We just finished Baldur's Gate Extended Edition. So not Baldur's Gate 3, not the one that everyone knows. Baldur's Gate 1, the one that nobody knows, but that everyone should know exists because there is a Baldur's Gate 3. Right? Baldur's Gate 3 implies the existence of a Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Just like how Fallout 76 implies in the existence of a Fallout 75 and 74 and 73 and 72 and so on and so forth, right? So those are the games I grew up with. I'm quite old. Baldur's Gate 2 especially, the first Fallout, again, that the existence of the first Fallout is implied by the existence of later Fallouts. Things like Neverwinter Nights, things like my favorite game of all time, Planescape Torment. That one no one actually knows exists. So that one I am quite excited to share with people. But at the same time, like I kind of want to get some other things out of the way first. So I was testing the whole, can I even play role-playing games on stream with stuff like Baldur's Gate? And apparently, yeah, no, it works. It'll take a while. Baldur's Gate took us 16 sessions, which is quite a bit, but not as much as I had feared, I think. Yeah, so, and then Tuesdays, right now, the idea is to play other old games that I grew up with, which are not role-playing games. So I played things like Titan Quest on there. I played the Rise of Nations, Rise of Legends sequel. I played Caesar 3, which I didn't actually complete because the game beat me. I had to give up in shame. I played the Settlers 3. Right? And I don't know, there's a whole list on my page, on my profile page, I guess. Where you can see what I played. Orcs Must Die, that was the first game I ever streamed. Siberia, old adventure game, and so on. BioShock, the one that I never actually played. But yeah, so I play old games, but I also do creative stuff, mostly tabletop role-playing design, game design, and right now I don't have a day for that. Right, I want a third day where I can do those things. I used to design a game, or I did not design a game, but like do game design every single week, right? Once a week. I had a fixed day for that called Tabletop Workshop. But now, because of work, because of schedule changes and so on, I need to find a day when to slot that in again. And yeah, I'm still working on the schedule. I have a new job, and the new job is a bit unstable. So yeah, I'll have to see. Um but for now, I don't know, I'll just play a bit of Minecraft, I guess. Where am I? Do I want some music? Let me put on some music. What music do I have? I should have music. Oh wait, I have playlists saved, right? List music playlists. It's the wrong playlist. Okay, that's a bit loud. Sorry. That coming through? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, just a little bit something in the background. Um, while we do some Minecrafting and I don't know, talking about things, I guess. Um, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello. Um, but yeah, I'm also in the middle of, well, not in the middle. It has been dormant for a while. Um, oh wait, I do have. Um, but I'm hoping to get groups together to play more tabletop RPGs on stream again. I did some of it's just really difficult to organize people. Where are you? Um, I managed to run one campaign like 2 years ago of Blades in the Dark. Oops. Okay. And I ran an intro session in a small RPG a couple months back. And I've been trying to organize more sessions, but it's just it's difficult to get everyone on the same page and to find a time where everyone can make it. I'm not blaming anyone. I know that we're all adults, we have lives, we have stuff to do. Um, I know myself, and I haven't been like I've been busy as well. Um, so completely understandable. But at the same time, I would like to play something, and it's difficult to get it organized. Um, so that's the hope that I can get some groups together and play some sessions. Like we already have the groups, and we already have. Is the game audio coming through? The game audio is not coming through. Ah. Okay, let's see. Minecraft, where are you? Ah, there we go. You're on the wrong audio cable. Where's my gaming cable? Uh, Wavelength game. There we go. Now the audio is coming. Okay. Um, we already have groups, we already have scenarios, we already have the game system that we want to use and all that. There's already character ideas. So we've been doing stuff, we've been organizing, but it's just it's not easy getting people to like making sure that everyone has a time they can make it. Um because it's a system it's one of the biggest ever indie systems, but just because indie is basically invisible in RPG general. Not a lot of people know about it, so the system we're playing is called Fate. Fate Core, which basically, yeah, it is one of the biggest systems on the indie market. But it is not D&D or Pathfinder, right? Or Call of Cthulhu, or heck, even Shadowrun. So no one knows about it, practically. Um, and so even if people have like played D&D and such, um, and then saying, yeah, no, this is a different game, the rules are different, character creation works differently. Then it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, so we need to schedule a session for that, which means scheduling yet another session, and it's difficult to find time for that as well, because suddenly instead of everyone needing only 1 day to play the one shot, we now need 2 days. One for character creation and session 0 things, and one for actually playing. So well, that's another thing I'm hoping to do more of. I think once I've organized a couple more of these sessions and gotten a couple of people together uh who are really into playing tabletop, um and who are more able to make the time, right? um Rather than being constricted by work or life or family or whatever, right? um that might become more regular. uh and also I think because the idea is that I want to play a whole bunch of different RPGs, right? Maybe okay, so there's two things I kind of want to do with the RPGs thing. The first is play a whole bunch of different RPGs out there that um most casual D&D only players have never heard of or never even knew that existed. I mean, a lot of D&D players don't know that RPGs outside of D&D exist, so I don't blame them for that. Um, right. Things like, I don't know, Tales from the Loop, some Powered by the Apocalypse games, Symbaroum. I want to try some as well that I don't necessarily think are good, but that I just want to try to have played them, and then I can actually say, all right, now I know why it's not good, or maybe I'll be surprised and be like, oh, actually, my impression of it was wrong, right? Things like Shadow of the Demon Lord. Um, and Savage Worlds. Not that I think Savage Worlds is not good. That's just another game I want to try as well, and so on and so forth. So that's one side of it, right? A whole bunch of like one shots or short adventures with these different systems. Um, and another is playing something of a longer campaign. Maybe something like 10, 20 sessions, you know, maybe longer if people can make it, of a bigger game. Because there is something magical about running a longer lasting game where you can really have, oh yeah, PC choices actually have consequences, and and then you can lay bigger plans and have those consequences play out over a bigger scale, and can have multiple layers to the plot and so on and so forth, right? There is something special about larger campaigns, um that I also want to yeah, do again, play again. And especially because I also want to try out um some, like, a more old school style-ish type of RPG that is more based on, or not based on, but that includes elements of things like hex crawling, proper old school dungeon crawling, right? Downtime activities, and maybe like the politics and such logistics of running your own kingdom, or things like that, right? So there's a lot of awesome games out there that have awesome systems for that. But in order to really, I mean, I guess you could play a game where you just start in medias res, and just go, all right, now this session we're only doing, I don't know, a hex crawl, right? And then testing the hex crawl system. Or in this session we're only testing downtime actions. And then you just have characters that have already done things, that already have like money and experience and are already in a town, blah, and then you just only do downtime. That's kind of like a systems test. Um which is definitely doable, but that's also different from, you know, playing a game with systems like that. So um something I want to try at some point. And to be fair, a systems test is something you can do alone. You don't necessarily need other players for it, especially if you're not the one designing the game. Right? If you're the one designing the game, sure, then you should get other people to get their input on things. Um but if you're playing a published game, someone else's game, and you just want to see, how does this game work? How does it feel like using the mechanics of this game? Now, you can do systems tests or even simple sessions on your own, solo, and that works perfectly fine. Um, but if I can get my friends to join and play with me, why wouldn't I? And the whole point is also introducing a bunch of my friends to RPGs, because many of them haven't really played a lot before or at all before. Um, so introducing them to this hobby is, one of the goals of doing this. So, uh, yeah, so playing with other people is definitely different. And there are enough solo RPGs out there that I can reserve any solo sessions for those. When I really cannot find anything but feel like, yeah, no, I should do some sort of RPG playing again.
Endure.
There's an
In
ad
enduring,
going.
grow
Okay.
strong.
But then again, this is we're just mining here. I'm not gonna pause. We're not doing like story progress on anything. So yeah. If you do need to though, please get a stretch. Especially if any raiders are still here, and you need to go grab some food, get a stretch, get some rest, go to the bathroom, whatever, please do. Don't feel chained by me. Not saying I'm not into that, but please don't feel like you have to stay. or like have to neglect caring for yourself just to sit here and entertain me. Because that's not how this works. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, lots of ideas, I guess, for the stream, for the channel, for the brand. I don't have a brand. That is a lie. I don't have a brand. My microphone extra quiet? I don't know. I might be talking a bit softly right now. Can I move my mic a bit closer? Will that help? I don't think I can move it any closer. Oh, I can move it a bit closer. Okay. I'm almost a bit worried. I have my microphone on a mic arm. And that mic arm is clamped to the edge of the desk. Except this desk, whoever designed this, made the edge of the desk, the outer rim, tapered. So the top is flat, but then instead of having a straight 90-degree edge that leads to the bottom part of the desk, right, the bottom surface of the top board, it's slanted inward at quite a fair bit, something like 60 degrees or so. Or I suppose 30 degrees would be more accurate in that. So when I clamp my mic arm onto my desk, the top half of the clamp can rest well on the surface of the desk, but then the bottom half of the clamp is like partially not supported by anything because the bottom side of the board doesn't reach as far. I don't know if I did a good job explaining it. Vanilla! Hello, how are you doing? Here, let me. Yes. Oh. I just want to stop by and say I love my VTuber sibling. Ah, you are amazing. I love my VTuber brother as well. You're the most awesomest, awesome of the awesomerest. Oh no. We are going to bed? Okay. Alright. Then I wish you a good night, Vanilla. Thank you for dropping by. Check out Vanilla. Vanilla is my VTuber brother. Very, very chill, small bean, adorable VTuber. Thank you. Have good rest of your day. Thank you. And yeah, have good sleep, Vanilla. Thanks for saying hi. Oh yeah, definitely check out yeah, check out Vanilla. Also shares the channel with with some other VTubers. So there's always like different content there happening. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Best thing is to watch Small Bean be bad at games, I guess. um but yeah. So I'm always worried about my microphone falling. It actually did once. Like the clamp came loose simply because it's kind of sort of like part of the bottom part is on the bottom side of the board, but then the rest is like, oh, this is tilting upward. So it just kind of comes loose. So I don't want to move my mic stretch it out too much because I'm always afraid something will happen. Such is life. Such as weird desk shapes. Yeah. What was I talking about? I was talking about role-playing games. Another idea at some point is to test some of my own designs, I guess. Um, because designs need to be tested. That's a thing, right? If you're designing something, you need to test it to make sure that it actually does what you want it to do. So that's also an idea. If I ever design a game where I think, yeah, no, this is complete enough that I can now test this with some people. And it's gonna be a systems test, right? Like, testing a game is very, very different from playing a game. Because when you're testing a game, at least in the early stages, right? Later on, once the game is in its final phases, yeah, then you're just playing the game to see if if it feels fun. But in the beginning, you just want to see if the systems actually do what you imagine them to do. And so systems testing is very, very different from play testing. I don't know if those words are actually used in the industry, right? I'm not in the industry, but I hope it makes sense what I'm saying, right? Kind of like before you can test if what's a good analogy? Before you can test whether or not a car is even comfortable to drive and feels good and such, you first have to test if if the motor runs properly, for example, right? If you're designing a cool new motor, or if you're trying to put the motor in somewhere and you have to build it a certain way, right? You first have to do a stress test on the motor itself before you put that thing into the car. Because once it's in there and it turns out, oh no, the motor is actually a piece of crap that doesn't do what you thought it would, uh, then at that point, like testing whether or not the car is comfortable is kind of not really the priority. Maybe that analogy made sense. I hope it made sense. It didn't quite make sense in my head. Um, but yeah, so that's basically what I say. What I mean when I say systems tests. Right? Go away. Right. Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot of plans I have, and not enough time to do them. Um, like just I keep thinking, right? I mean, my whole shtick, basically, at this point, is role playing games, old games, role playing games, game design, right? That's sort of where I fall, especially the role playing games axis because I designed them as well, so that's like my whole thing. Um, but role playing games, also famously take a long time to finish. I'm thinking, like, Baldur's Gate 1, just the base game, took me 16 sessions. And that is a game I know relatively well. There are other role-playing games out there that I don't know as well. Like, I've played them when I was younger, but maybe I only played them once and don't quite remember a lot, or I played them but never got super far in them, again, because they take a lot of time. So part of streaming them is to share them, but another part is also just to, finish those games. Um, and at some point I might be like looking on where I need to go or what I need to do, and that might take a while. Um, which will drag out the playtime. And I'm thinking, like, how long will it take me to finish all of these role-playing games? If I take Baldur's Gate as a benchmark, 16 sessions for that game. Like 16 streams for that game. Other games are a lot bigger sometimes. Like Fallout 1 might also take me as much. Icewind Dale might take me as much as well. Maybe even longer because Icewind Dale is much more focused on combat. Baldur's Gate 2 is a lot bigger. That might very well take me double the sessions. Even though I know Baldur's Gate 2 really well because I've played it a lot of times. That's why I know it's a very big game, right? There's a lot to do in there. So it might very well take me 30, 35, maybe even 40 sessions if I include the expansion, which I will. Right? I will play that as well. But it's gonna be counted as well. Neverwinter Nights, very long game as well. Might also take me, I don't know, 20 to 30 sessions. Fallout 2, also a pretty big game. And then Planescape Torment is really big and has a lot of reading in it, which is part of what makes the game good, right? It's almost like a visual novel kind of deal in some cases. Or like what do you call it? Like a visual novel with a lot of choices, I guess. I don't know if there's a special term for that. But that also means it'll take a lot of time. I think it's definitely worth it. Like it's not my favorite game for no reason. But it's gonna take a while. So if I take all of this together, it's gonna take me several years. Like several years to go through these games. Right? If Baldur's Gate 2 takes me something like 40 sessions. That's about a year of streaming, give or take, right? If I do it once a week, and if I can't make it a week here or there, or if something comes up, like, I don't know, a Christmas stream or an anniversary stream, etc. Uh, yeah, that's practically a whole year for one single game, right? The year has 52 weeks. So that's, huh. And then if other games take about as long, so I could have content for many years to come. Just with the role-playing games. Just with those. So, I guess at some point I also need to think about what order to play them in. It's like, I was thinking, oh hey, the Fallout TV show came out. Now's the time to jump onto the Fallout hype train. but I ignored two things. The first, or three things, I guess. The first was um, time has already passed, right? The show came out a while ago, and I think it came out all at once, so people watched it all at once instead of week by week. Otherwise, they would still be talking about it, right? So it was like, oh, you have to do things before the show comes out. Like if I wanted to play Fallout 1 to show people, yo, this is the game that started it all. That back in 1998, I believe, right? Came out in 1998 and then led to a TV show, a TV series. Was it 26 years later? Right? Um, quarter of a century later. So this game came out, quarter of a century later, there's a TV series for it. That's how impactful this game was. Um, I would have had to do that before the show came out. That's part of the hype, right? Um, so the whole, oh, let's release all the episodes at once. I haven't seen it, by the way. I don't even know what service it's on. I don't have it. Um, so I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know if it's good or not. A lot of people have said it's okay. They liked it. I can't judge. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I would have had to play. Would have had to start the Fallout stream series before that instead of after that. Um, and the show was apparently good-ish, but not so great that people are still in awe by it and still talking about it, right? They've moved on to the next thing. And yeah, so it's just I didn't have the timing. I would have had to have hyped up the thing. If I like, oh, you know that Fallout series that's coming out in a month? Well, let me hype up my Fallout stream that's gonna start in a week, right? That's how I if if I were good at marketing myself, um, that's how I probably should have done it. Um, but yeah, those opportunities just pass me by because I'm not good at marketing myself. I'm not a marketing person, right? People pay good money to have other people market you. Um, and I don't know anything. So yeah, that kind of happened. It just kind of went past, and that's it now. Fallout is no longer a big deal. So if I were to start the series and be like, "Oh, Fallout, remember that TV show?" and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're now on to." I don't even know what show is now. Like, is there a new show that people are all that's all the rage now? I don't know. I don't follow these things. Right? And that's part of why I suck at so much at marketing. It's like I don't have my finger on the pulse of society. Um, yeah. Doesn't mean I'm never gonna stream Fallout. Like I definitely still think I mean it is a super impactful game, right? Launched an entire series, not just TV series, but like a whole franchise rather is the word, right? Launched a whole franchise, um, is still going strong half a quarter century later. Um, and it changed gaming as well, right? Because before that, it changed the face of computer role playing games. Relatable? Yeah, it's like people get degrees and years of work experience and can demand good money for this kind of deal, and I just have to sort of teach it to myself and wing it. Who am I? What am I? Am I Reed Richards? Probably not the right person to. Reed Richards is a scientist, not a marketer. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a fictional person who's really good at marketing. Um, but yeah, like I am still going to stream Fallout. That is definitely planned because it changed the face of computer role playing games. So before that, you had basically two types. You had the JRPGs, right? Which were, by the way, inspired by older like 80s RPGs, things like the old Wizardry and Might and Magic and the old like there's a whole bunch of them. A huge amount of old Western RPGs like that were basically inspired by old Dungeons and Dragons, right? Old school Dungeons and Dragons. So they had a lot of things like overland travel systems and dungeon crawling systems and things like that, but not much in terms of story or character, right? Um, maybe if the designers were capable, they had some sort of emergent narrative, but usually it was all just excuse plots to get you to roll up a character, go into a dungeon, and murder some monsters. Right? That's the idea with those older RPGs. And then the JRPG came out and honed in on the narrative aspect of these games, right? So they very much said, "Oh yeah, you are playing the story, right? You don't choose your own main character. We give you a main character, and then you play through their story, and we use the JRPG to tell the story, right? And that's how that came about. And then I guess that re-inspired Western designers, and then Fallout came out, which yeah has a lot of the old elements of like overland travel and combat systems and such, but really emphasized the narrative, really emphasized characters and the story and the choices you make in it. um and back then that was so radical, so different, that it changed the face of Western RPG gaming, or computer RPGs, right? So yeah, um, and ever since then, right? A lot of like the whole dungeon crawly, old school dungeon crawly RPG died off basically, right? It lasted into something like the mid 90s, early 2000s with long running series like Wizardry and Might and Magic, right? They kind of sort of had a very slow death. Um, but then by the early 2000s, those were gone, and the story heavy games started taking over. Right? And then the whole narrative aspect of, oh, let's make games that focus on the narrative started taking over, and not necessarily use an RPG system for that, just like more story oriented games and such. Um, so that happened. And now RPGs, more modern RPGs, made a comeback with yeah, Morrowind. Morrowind, I think, was the big one that kept it alive. Morrowind, Oblivion, oops, Fallout 3, and such made them popular again. Um, so that's where we are now. But really, it's like seeing, like playing those old RPGs is like seeing the evolution of game design and gaming history behind it. Um, so yeah, and I feel like not just the games themselves deserve to be shared, but as a piece of like gaming history, right? They deserve to be looked at. Um, that's why I want to stream them. So Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Baldur's Gate 1 that I finished, Baldur's Gate 2, possibly Icewind Dale 1 and 2. I haven't touched Icewind Dale 2 actually. I think that's one of the last ones to come out from the Black Isle era. Um Uh-oh. Something broke. Uh-oh. Welp. There goes that. Okay. I'm not the one who built this, so I don't know how to fix it. Um, I don't know what broke. I don't even know how this works. It apparently has endless water. Yeah, okay, something. Did I accidentally hit this thing? I think I accidentally hit this thing. Okay. The timing was off somewhere. Whoops. Okay, that seems right. Um, what was I talking about? The games, right. So there's a whole bunch, right? Fallout 1 and 2, Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale 1 and maybe 2. Definitely 100% Planescape Torment. My favorite game of all time. And truly an experience. Like I've mentioned this a lot of times before. But back in the day, back in my day, right? Um so games like now in 2024, right? Games are a lot more respectable. Even though AAA companies are doing their best to make to kill the reputation of games, um games are much more respectable and reputable, right? It's like, yeah, no, games are definitely a creative endeavor and an artistic endeavor in many cases, right? Um okay. Oh, that's a bit misleading. All right. Um and but back then, like 25 years ago or so, games were just seen as yet another consumerist entertainment toy kind of deal, right? Like I think everything had to go through a phase like that. Um, Books had to go through that, movies had to go through that, and then games also had to go through that. So games being artistic wasn't really an idea that anyone had, right? Um, and one of the very first games to challenge that notion, to say, no, actually, games can very much be artistic. Games can be art more than just a toy or like a cheap piece of entertainment, whatever. Um, One of the first games to challenge that was Planescape Torment. Um, you see that on a lot of reviews and discussions about the game from back in the time, saying, "Yeah, no, if games were ever to be perceived as art, this game is doing a good job of paving the way." Right? Uh, that's that's the kind of game that Planescape Torment was, or is still. I mean, nowadays, if you look at it, yeah, no, games being art, that is, bleh, duh, right? And we have plenty of good examples to draw on nowadays to say, yeah, no, this game is definitely artistic. It has artistic value, which is a horrible thing to have to justify. But you know, we live in a capitalist society that only knows content and not art. Um, so that's eh. But there are plenty of games where we can definitely say, yeah, no, this is art. Um, but that's today. And back then, that wasn't the case. So that's why I really want to share experiencing Planescape Torment. Um, because I think it is a valuable piece of like art and gaming history to know about, to to have experience, right? It's like if you look at any sort of art history, media history, it's like, oh yeah, there's this, I don't know, movies. Or it's like if you study any form of movie history, there are some movies that you must watch just to understand what they were, and to understand how they could have had the impact they had in filmmaking and such. Um, and I do believe that to truly understand um, game history and like the shift from game as toy to game as art. Whoops, that's not enough. Um, Planescape Torment is one of those games that you have to experience to understand how the gaming scene, not just the gaming scene, but like the perception of games was back then, and what this game did in order to start the slow shift of perception for gaming as a whole. So yeah, definitely want to share that one. That alone is reason enough, but I have more reasons. Like it is also a really powerful, good story. It's really moody. It's a D&D game, but it uses one of the strangest D&D settings of all time. One that Hasbro obviously dropped because it's too weird, so they don't expect it to make a lot of money. And Hasbro is a billion-dollar company, billion-dollar corporation that wants to make all of the money. Um, as seen with the release of the newest D&D edition. Please don't pre-order the new D&D books. The pre-orders are out for the new D&D books. Please don't pre-order the new D&D books, even if you are an avid D&D player. Please don't. Wait a week or two. They will be available everywhere. Just, just don't. like the current pre-order tiers and such of the D&D books, this is the horse armor DLC of tabletop role playing. This is it. If we condone and encourage and reward this kind of marketing behavior from Wizards with all the D&D pre-order books, uh this is what the market will turn into. And then later on, when we get loot boxes and all of those shady AAA Skinner box, get all of your money, turn players into payers tricks with tabletop role playing games, um, and you pre-ordered the D&D books, yeah, thank you. You helped. You helped with that. You contributed to that. So please don't. Just don't. You don't need the books right away. Wait for a little bit. Heck, wait for a month or two for the first errata to come out and for the second printing. So you don't have to scribble into your own books for all of the rules mistakes and missing words and other things, right? Um just please don't help ruin don't help triple A fi the tabletop role playing game hobby as well. We already have enough problems in video games as is. We don't need this in tabletop role playing. Um, so yeah, just please don't. If there's one thing you take away from my stream today, is just don't pre-order those books. Um, this is Hasbro testing the waters. They have said, "Hey, Capsize, hello, how are you doing? Nice of you to drop in." I am ranting once again. Um, but yeah, they like Hasbro got a whole bunch of video game CEOs to start running Wizards, right? Like Microsoft Gaming CEO and other such CEOs to run Wizards of the Coast. And the first thing these CEOs did was like, product quality doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is predatory marketing. Right? That's the only thing that counts. We need to monetize more of D&D. We need to find new avenues of monetization. Villain arc is always my villain arc when I talk about corporations. Um and let's fire a whole bunch of creatives. So they fired like more than 1,000, close to 2,000, I think, of their creatives, and are like, okay, how can we make people pay as much money as possible with it costing us as little as possible, right? So that's what they're doing. Um, and they're testing the waters right now with this whole D&D pre-order thing, right? If you pre-order at the highest tier, you get a virtual tabletop miniature that you don't actually own, but you know, you pay good money for it. Maybe. Um right? So that's uh, it's the exact same idea. Like they are trying to turn D&D into a live service, AAA live service, because of course they are, because that's how video game companies make billions of dollars. And Hasbro is looking at it and saying, "Oh, we want to make all of the money. So of course, let us turn D&D into uh-oh, red dust. I should not have red dust. Is it here? I think it was here. Okay. Let's see if it breaks. Um, most corpos do that. Yes, they do. Which is, which is why corpos deserve to burn. Um, hire starter workers. Yeah. Yeah, they are only after profits and nothing else. Okay, I didn't break it. Um, right, and then lay off, like, seriously, Hasbro laid off a huge number, something like more than 1,000 workers, I think, right before Christmas last year. Um, because who needs actual game designers and artists and writers and such when you're designing games, right? Who needs all of that? Who needs a good game? The only thing you need is some AI and a lot of predatory marketing, and then you will, make all of the money. You will make billions of dollars because video games have shown that that works. And I am extremely afraid that that tabletop games will go down the same course. It's already starting. Politicians on their payroll, so you can't get to them. Yep, exactly. So it's frustrating to see, right? This is like, I mean, D&D, the design of D&D aside, right? D&D as a game on its own merits aside, the mere fact that it is a flagship product of $1 billion corporation, the other flagship product being Magic the Gathering. But the fact that it is one of the two flagship products of $1 billion corporation means that they are going to milk it for all of its worth. And D&D as a game is going to suffer from that because game quality, if you can save money by lowering game quality, they will do that. They will absolutely 100% do that because that's what corporations do, right? Anything that benefits the bottom line of this quarter, they will do. And lowering cost at the cost of lowering quality, sure, who cares about quality? We just want to make money. Oh, am I already? Oh wow, that was fast. Um, so that's very much what's happening right now with D&D. So I'm not saying that people designing the game are bad designers. They're not. They're passionate people who love the game and who want to make and play the best game possible. And yeah, sure, I totally understand that. I'm a designer myself. Um, it's the people at the top. It's the managers and the marketers and the CEOs and everything that are going to murder D&D as a good game. Right? And I 100% foresee that happening. And there's two ways this can take. Either D&D crashes and burns so badly that corpos give up on it and it can return to being a good game again by letting the actual creatives take the lead. Or it becomes so successful because consumers gonna consume that the role-playing game market gets turned into the video game market, the AAA video game market as we know it today, and that is horrendously horrible, right? So, bleh. They turned some game into gacha microtransactions, command and conquer. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of old beloved series are just money makers now. Right? Oh, I think something. Okay. Um. There are some absolutely egregious examples that kind of crashed and burned, but that's because they were too egregious, right? Just look at the state of AAA video games today. We've come so far that live service is basically the only game they will make. We are not getting any new games because they all just want to play it safe and extend their long-running series because that's what people buy. Right? No innovation, no creative endeavors, no risk-taking, no nothing. Yeah, exactly. Remake, remaster, or just the next item in the like sequels forever. Right? We're having like the 84th Call of Duty coming out or something, right? Who needs that many? Right? Things like this. Um and if it's so bad now that AAA as a label has become so maligned that AAA companies want to distance themselves from that label and produce like rating inflation, right? Remember the quadruple A game? That was absolutely horrible. Like that it wasn't a new game or they didn't try anything interesting with it. All they did was make yet another bog standard triple A crap slop and call it quadruple A because the studios are now aware that triple A is a mark of shame, right? And it's a marketing ploy. They can delete your digital copy at any time. Yes, exactly. So with D&D, that virtual tabletop mini that you're getting, you don't actually own it. You don't own it. If your account gets lost, if the tabletop system, the proprietary D&D tabletop system on which you can only play D&D and nothing else, if that shuts off, if anything happens, right? I don't know, another CrowdStrike bust and then all of their internal data gets scrambled. Sucks to be you. You lose that mini. Awesome. Hey, Awkward Pain, how are you doing? We're on a rant. Right? So, aesthetics get priority over content. Yes. Definitely. It's very and more than that, it's the FOMO, right? It's like, oh, if you pre-order the books, you will get them right away, so you can start playing the new D&D edition a whole week before your friends. It's like, are you that desperate? Are you on something like stage 4 terminal brain cancer and you only have 3 days to live, so you have to play the new D&D edition now because you won't survive until it comes out properly? Are we here? Is that where you're at? If you are at that stage in your life, okay, pre-order the books. If you're not at that stage in your life, why? Why? Why are you encouraging predatory AAA marketing behavior from a billion-dollar corporation? Why are you telling them you are okay to be turned from a player into a payer? Right? So, sounds like it. I'm just planning out my week and drawing some more panels. Hey, awesome! I hope that is going well. Will you publish? Will you publish that thing anywhere? When you're done, or are you publishing it now, like in stages? Is that a thing? Because I am curious how that comic will look. Eventually, I did the first chapter like a year and a half ago. I know that feeling. It's like I did this. I should probably return to it at some point, and then like a year and a half later, it's like, oh right. I got the itch eye on the second chapter. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, okay. Um, if you want, I can give you permission to link things, and then you can drop your link here if you would like. Don't just post your link like that because it'll bonk you. But if you want, I can. Yeah, I can give you permission, and you can post your link. You feel like it. I might not understand the comic because again, I don't know Dragon Ball. Is it worth watching in 2024? Is Dragon Ball worth watching nowadays? It's like I know like back then it was probably, oh my god, so hype, really cool anime, everyone talking about it. Nowadays, is it? Whoa, okay, that was a weird lag issue. Let me find it because it's just my Imgur account as I never separated out. Oh, yeah, no stress. Like if you don't, if it's too much work or so, I don't want to distract you from your creativity. The original series is hard to watch. Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Like a lot of old anime, sure, they were probably pretty awesome when they came out. But nowadays, they might just not be good for a variety of issues. Has a lot of inappropriate scenes, yeah. But the story is good. Okay. Like the only thing I know about Dragon Ball is that people stand around in weird wasteland areas screaming a lot. Right? Big muscular guys standing around screaming. That's all I know from Dragon Ball. And I know there was a live action movie. That one I know. It's apparently not very good. That started in Dragon Ball Z. Ah, okay. See, I didn't even know those were two different series. I could have probably figured those were two different series. But yeah, I wasn't really aware. The live action movie is awful. Yeah, so I've heard. I watched a bit, not a total fan, but more screaming equals more power. I guess that's why they do it, right? They just stand around screaming and then they get super powered that they punch a moon to bits or something. I don't know. And the live action movie got Toriyama to start making more Dragon Ball content because it was about. Oh, okay. So at least some, like, out of spite, I believe. It's like, how dare you do this to my legacy? I will correct you. And I will show you what's what. So I guess at least some positive outcome. Plot was okay. Like crawling out of grave scenario. Crawling. Oh, like someone being resurrected. That kind of crawling out of grave. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like I said though, I don't know any. I know there's a green dude. Maybe there's two green dudes. I don't know. And that's it. So Yeah, I wouldn't know where to watch it. I will have to see if I can find it somewhere. Maybe just have it on in the background. Go through. It's like One Piece. Ruin Legacy, Crawl of Great Retirement. Oh. Right. That. Okay, yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Dragon Ball once became a thing of the past to me, but after that, I got angry about the live action movie, rewrote an entire movie script, and now I'm complaining about the quality of the new TV anime. So it seems that DP has grown on me much. I can't leave it alone. Dang. Okay. Yeah, that is a creator fueled by, like, none of you people can do it right. Let me show it how it's actually done. Dang. Okay. Well, it's like, as a casual watcher, yeah. I felt like this with One Piece as well. Right? Like the live action show came out and everyone was super hyped for it, and it's like, I don't know One Piece except it's a bunch of wacky pirates. Um, so I started watching the anime, and I don't know, man. It's I can see why it became so popular back in the day. Like the character designs are cool, the characters themselves are really cool, the setting is really fun, and the story and the what do you call it, the uh pre I forgot the word, setting, and the blah, what the story is based on is very wacky. um but then the anime just drags. It drags and drags, like it spent something like 10 episodes on a 2-minute fight. And at that point I watched it and it's like, can't. I just can't anymore. Oh, ads are going to start soon. And also we will get the air raid siren sooner rather than later. It should start at 1:30 local time, and you can see the clock, it's 1:24. Long Park. I don't know if I got there. I got to the first. I forgot where I got to. I actually forgot. I just know there was that one fight with the big villain who posed. No, I'm not. The big villain on that one island where they recruit. What's his face? The dude who always lies, the slingshot guy. I forgot the name. Right on that island, they had that one fight at the end of that arc. And the fight lasted probably like 2 minutes real time, but they managed to squeeze like 15 episodes out of it. Usopp. Yeah, Usopp, that guy, thank you. And at that point, it's like, what am I doing here? Yeah, that thing. Watch a bit One Piece local dub, lost interest due to too many local commercials. Oof. Oh no.
Endure.
Okay, the
In
ad is
enduring,
starting.
grow strong.
Maybe you will get to hear the air raid siren. Come on, just as the ad ends. We will see. I will definitely hear it. I don't know if the mic will pick it up. Was that line for me? It's just I have that line is from Planescape Torment, by the way. Um Endure. Enduring grow strong. Uh Basically just saying the ad is happening, just endure the ad, please. It's okay. It's not gonna hurt you. Okay. Um but yeah. That's basically like a lot of old anime feels like that. It's like it, it's difficult to watch in a lot of cases. Um Heck, a lot of slightly newer anime is also difficult to watch because of that. It's like okay, no, I'll continue after the ad. I don't want this discussion to get like cut off for anyone who's trapped in an ad right now. Um, I'll just continue now. Like Clash Culture anime between then and now. Uh, kinda, yeah. It's I guess storytelling and to a certain degree, like filmmaking techniques and such were different back then. Right? It's okay. No, I have to resist. I will wait. Don't tempt me. But yeah, if you do need to, uh, I should have said that at the beginning of the outbreak, and maybe I should have taken a break as well. But it's too late now. um. Okay. But like a lot of anime, like the pacing is just very. That's one of the biggest issues, I think. Pacing is very different then and now, right? It's like, um, oops. It's just like filmmaking techniques have changed a lot. When films first became a thing, the only reference filmmakers had was stage plays. So a lot of films back in the first era, especially like silent films and such, um, but even talkies, were like took cues from stage plays, right? How they functioned. And what works on stage, it doesn't translate one to one to on film, right? So a lot of the techniques you use for stage plays, you cannot do them on film. Um, but filmmakers didn't know that. They had to learn, they had to innovate, they had to try things out. And that's why a lot of older films feel very weird and feel very off because a lot of the techniques that we use nowadays just hadn't been invented yet, right? Um, and that's, and I think, oh, okay, you cannot hear the air raid siren. It's not coming through at all. Um, right? But, and I can imagine that anime went through something similar, right? When anime first came out, and became a bigger thing, a lot of the techniques of how can we make animation like this and what kind of techniques work for animation, a lot of those hadn't been invented yet, right? Which is why older anime feels off just from a technical standpoint as well. Um, and we've learned a lot and innovated a lot over the decades. Right? So that definitely plays a role. Um, To me, Arlong Park, or is the arc after the Usopp Park arc, was where it really started picking up. But fights drag on for too long because they have to give time for the manga. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. Naruto is the same, right? It's like a lot. There's a lot of filler episodes and a lot of episodes where like a minute or something gets dragged out to the whole episode simply because uh they have to wait for the manga to catch up, which is that's a wild concept if you think about it. But yeah, that's kind of what I figured was happening, and that doesn't do it any favors. Um, right. So, but Arlong Park after the Usopp arc. Okay, so maybe I think that's where I ended, right? Just at the end of the Usopp arc. Um, is where I finished or didn't finish, but like I just couldn't continue. So maybe if you say it picks up after that, then I might give it another try, and continue on. Again, because it's like it's a big piece of anime legacy, anime history, right? It's one of the big ones, one of the big three. It's so big that, decades later, it got a live action adaptation. Actually, it's two after. I'm now looking at the listing of episodes. Okay. Um, I mean, it's not bad. It's just they are trying, and they are trying to pull out every trick in the book to not make it feel like they're just dragging everything down to a standstill. But you can still tell, right? You can kind of see, oh, they're trying this trick, they're doing this thing here. But at the end of the day, no, you can still tell, and it's like, oh, they're talking, they're just standing across from each other talking. Um, Mom just came in and wanted to ask something. Where was I? Fix, right? You can kind of tell, like, oh, there's just people standing there and they're talking, and the things they are talking about are interesting. Oh, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, this dude. Like a lot of things like reaction shots. It's like someone says a big line and then reaction shot from this guy, dragged just like half a second too long, and then reaction shot from this person on for the same line, also dragged just half a second too long, right? Things like that, where it's obvious they're just trying to fill as much time as possible without just saying, yeah, no, here, have a still image and watch this for 20 seconds, 20 minutes. Um, that kind of deal. Though apparently the live action, the One Piece live action was pretty good. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of fans of the show as well enjoyed it. So that's establishing shot for almost 20 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Very slow establishing shot. And then a lot of intercutting scene changes so that you can have establishing shots for every single scene change. Yeah. Or like a crowd shot. It's like the crowd is shocked. And then dude says another line, crowd is shocked again. And then dude says the third line, crowd is shocked yet again. And it's like, okay, we filled a minute. Right? We now have 19 more minutes to go. It's quite blatant. But there's only so much of that I can take before my brain just starts switching off, and it's like I don't I don't have the time for this. I don't have the life for this. Um, my life is too precious to waste on 20-second reaction shots. Um, not here. So yeah. Oh yeah, if you say it becomes better, then I might give it another chance. Um, I just had a thought about something. That is a lot of storage. It's not mine. It's I'm on a multiplayer server with other streamers and VTubers. And this is an auto sorter. So other people built this. I didn't. I joined the server relatively late, but this is an auto sorter. So you just put things into here and it just moves them through the entire sorter and just sorts them by type. So anything that can be stacked up to 64 uh is in here. Right, so we have, let's see, let's count. I've never counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 levels. 11 levels of stored things. Um, and so anything you drop up in the chest on top eventually makes its way into here. And if you need anything, you can just come here and grab it. Right. So that's the whole point of this thing. It's like if you have extras of something, dump them in here, that it can be stored, and then if you need things, you can grab them from here as well. A lot of dedication. I think this was built in creative. So the server was switched to creative so that this could be built. Take a stack, leave a stack. Yeah, exactly. Um, and like the server itself is survival, but to build this, I think they switched it to creative for a while so that this could be done. And now that it's done, the server is back to survival. Um, it will still take forever. Yeah. A lot of planning, especially because you have to look at, okay, every single stackable block in the game and you have to sort them somehow. You have to sort them into levels that make sense because these things aren't random. This all of this up here is wood and tree related things. As you can see, you have the saplings, all the wood, leaves, all of the wood things. And then the next level down is additional wood things, sticks, trapdoors, the plates, all of the nether wood stuff, and then all the dirt types, right? That we have here, doors, and then what else? What's here? Stone, right? All of the different stone types, all the variants of everything that you can have, right? Including apparently coal, such, right? So all of this, and then I usually stop playing Minecraft once I feel the game getting into chore simulator. Yeah, it can become that. But right now we're still building. We're still building, doing a lot of other stuff. Glass and colored things. Other colored blocks, flowers. And so this is all sorted. Wait, this is all of the other rocky stuff, clay, terracotta, ores, food, food and animal products. Whole level just for that. Nether stuff and other deep stuff. Redstone, etc. Um, Oral, huh? Ore blocks, sea stuff. What is here? This is all of these random workstations and candles and other interactive stuff. Yeah, there's a lot here apparently. Never. And then all of the new things, copper, cherry, and bamboo. And then they add another stone brick. Yeah. We'll have to. Maybe this section works. Oh, the new copper blocks, right? So maybe some of this will be filled with the new copper blocks, but we may need to expand down another level for all the tuft. Is it tuft blocks? Like there's more levels down here. You can see, right? There's more. But wait, there's more. So there's preparations for another level here, and then halfway, kind of, sort of done another level down beneath there. Um, yeah, and then this goes all the way down to there. I don't know what's down there. Um, so we might have to expand this. Actually, the new blocks are already out, right? The new copper blocks are out. The new tough variants are out. Yeah, we will have to work on this now. Huh. Alright, I'll have to write that in the Discord. Ask, yo, are we gonna expand the auto sorter, include the new blocks? Because the update already happened. Right. But yeah, a lot of awesome creative stuff. We have a whole Nether hub. Well, here we have a Nether hub with ice ice pathways to various locations. Right. Uh, you can see this is the map. So you have a lot of. I died a lot, as you can see. We have a lot of these that lead to different other sections. These are all to different nether portals mostly. Uh, Flower Forest, Max Swamp, and Ancient City entry. To the roof. We also broke through the nether roof. Um, Over here, right, we're on top of the nether. This is a, what do you call those big pigs? Hoglins, I think. This is a hoglins farm. We get pork chops and leather from here. I'm gonna build a gold farm on here at some point once I have enough magma cubes. Or not magma cubes. What do they call magma cubes? I forgot. Not the entity, not the animal thing, but the actual cube. Um, we have a lot of farms and spawners. Um, I built an iron farm. That's that building back there. Kind of see. This is going to be a villager trading hall that we built. Right, so this is our spawn village. And very funnily, we switched servers, or we switched the map once when the new version came out. that had cherry trees, cherry biomes. Hey, Sax, hi, how are you doing? Oh, let me give you. There we go. How goes? Nice Minecraft world. It's not mine. It's not mine. But yeah, this is our spawn village. So we had a really long running old server that I joined very, very late. And then I was basically unable to do anything on there. But then shortly after I joined, people were like, "Oh, the new version came out, with all the new biomes, with like the caves and the cherry. Well, caves were probably earlier, but like the cherry trees and blah and all this good stuff. Let's switch worlds so that we don't have to go out to like 10,000 blocks away to find our first cherry biome." Which I did, by the way. I wanted to find a cherry biome, and then I walked 10,000 blocks away from spawn to find the first one. Um, so wait, sorry, just chatting background. Uh, right, I didn't switch to Minecraft, did I? I should probably switch to Minecraft. I didn't plan on doing Minecraft. It didn't update on my OBS. I think that's a bug that other people also had. I hope it updated on stream, but on OBS it didn't update my category. So I think other people had that problem as well. In just chatting background. Updated here? Okay. Good, good, good. Am I? Says Minecraft? Good. Awesome. I'm doing okay. Right now we have an air raid drill going on, so I'm not allowed to leave the house. Um so that's happening, but that's okay. I'm just here streaming anyway. But yeah, I can show you around a bit. So this is but yeah, then we switched servers to a new map. Well, not switch server, but we updated to like remake the map and everything. We took the auto sorter from the old map and ported it in here. The admin did that, which is why when you look at this, you get this weird savanna in the middle of nowhere, this weird lake thing happening. That's because this whole section, these this 4x4 chunk section was just cut out of the old world and just plonked into here. That's why it doesn't fit. Um, that's why you get this weird like ble- like bare wall and everything in a savanna next to a snow mountain and such. Which is quite funny. Uh, and then yeah, so we made this world. So we wiped the old one, made this one, and then we spawned right in the middle of a cherry biome, cherry grove. Like, oh, we don't have to go look for them anymore. It's right here. So I love when that happens. Always funny when. Okay, I think I talked about too much. When what happens? Um, when you have to go when look for biomes or so. I forgot. But yeah, so then now I can actually Google that can even do that importing of chunks. Yeah, I don't know how it was done, but apparently you just go to world edit or something like world edit and just say I want this chunk, this this section, copy it as a blueprint or something, and then import it into this world. So yeah. But yeah, I built this villager breeder here. Minecarts. Yeah. Um, so you have this thing. And this, oh my goodness, this was such a pain to build. Because there are no villages nearby. The closest village. Oh, I'm underground. You can't see. Um, the closest village is down here. This was the closest village we had back then. Still is, right? So I had to go here, grab villagers, that you just chunked over. Yeah. The end portal that I just chunked over. Oh. That's a good point. I don't think so. I don't think there is anything down here. Uh-oh. There's an ancient city down here. No, it's just a cave. It's just a normal cave. No fortress of any kind. Yeah, you can see it's just a dripstone cave. Mine shaft here. Um and there's an ancient city somewhere below us. I mean, it would be a really small chance, but it could always happen. Yeah, I don't think we took that into account. Here's the ancient city. Um, and here's also the ancient city. Look at that. We spawned right on top of an ancient city. And this got chunked out. So we almost chunked out the ancient city. Now that I look at it. Oof. Dang. Um, but yeah, we have this right here. So this spawn was really, really cool. We have the city, we have mineshaft. A server I used to moderate would just delete all chunks that didn't have certain amount of activity. So basically any area and nobody built would just generate to update the new version. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to see if we can do that here. Then we don't have to constantly um like migrate to completely new maps. Yeah, so we just have a lot of caves. Turn cave mode off. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Um thank you for the lurk, Awkward Pain. I hope you have a nice lurk. Good work on the panels, I guess. Probably, but it takes a full day or multiple days to do so. For them to regenerate. Like so far, what we've done is limit the world size. So right now, I think it's 3,000 blocks in each direction. So this is how big the world is right now. We have a hard border going along the edge here. And me being me, I explored everything. So, right. So the first thing I did when I came on here is I just explored the whole thing. Took me several days to do, so that we have a map. And then once the world size got increased with the new update, um, I explored everything again, everything that was outside. So yeah, we have a full map here, so we can see. Oh, we have a large swamp. We have no desert. This looks like, yeah, this is a desert, but the desert is outside where we can reach. We have a lot of jungle and such over here. We have a tiny patch of like a random blob of badlands over here for some reason. We don't have warm ocean, but this is outside the borders. The border kind of runs a chunk or chunk and a half in. Um, but yeah, so basically everyone is starting to pick some areas to work on. Like this is an area being worked on. As you can tell, this is some sort of artificial swampy area. The huge cherry grove that we spawned in. Absolutely gigantic. Someone built this, which has a skeleton farm in there. Like we have ended up having so much honey from a honey farm on the old server, on the old map, that someone just took all of it and built a complete base just out of honeycomb. Out of honey blocks. Like not the bouncy sticky honey blocks, but like the honeycomb blocks. Um We have some world. We have an ice farm over here. We have a flower farm over here. This is where we can make flowers for dyes. We have an automatic flower harvester. We have underneath here is where I started mining. I just kind of dug down. And someone turned this into a nice mining area. That's cool. We have a dripstone farm. This is my house. This is actually based off of a blacksmith building from Age of Empires 2. So I just looked at the blacksmith model for one of them, forgot which one, and just kind of built this as best as I could according to that model. So I have a big room up here. There's not a lot inside. And then I have a chicken farm that keeps breaking. And then I have smelters. So, yay. We have an iron farm. Ayo, why does Bros Balls have global warming? What? Hello, turtle. Welcome. I don't understand what that is. Why does Bros Balls have I'm not sure I understand. Oh, yeah. Hello. So we have this over here. So we're trying to build things that are kind of aesthetic, and so I found this. Neither do I. Okay. Um. All right, then I guess we're on the same in the same boat on that. You're what? My what? He is having a good time in there. I know it's the murder onsen. Um, I'm really not sure I understand. Iron Golem Bro. I guess they do. Um, but yeah, none of these are like all of these are from tutorials on YouTube and such.
Updated my journal.
Yeah, thank you for following. Welcome, welcome to the guild. Yeah, we're just doing a bit of Minecraft as a chill half gaming, half chatting stream. So yeah, there's still a whole bunch to do. There's still a cow farm. Rose get is the I am honestly like I honestly I don't know what that means. Seriously, I don't know what those words mean. Um I don't know what a gyat is. I don't know that word. So I have to apologize. I really do not follow. Um yeah, I'm sorry. I don't if that's some kind of slang or dialect or so, I don't speak that. I I am not very up to date on a lot of newer terms like that. Do you have that Sigma Riz? I don't know. Maybe? I'm not sure. Is that referring to those strange, like, Greek alphabet people? The Greek alphabet men? Um, I shouldn't. Um, yes, that would be correct. Okay. then I don't know, maybe? I don't know what Sigma means in that context. I know it's like one of the good ones, maybe? But I am not 100% sure.
Raiding party!
Oh heck!
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Gated garden homes? Hello. Welcome. Gated, hi. Welcome, Raiders. What were you doing? You were doing Zelda Link's Awakening. Hello. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my stream. Thank you very much for raiding. My name is Chijin. I am a Bard VTuber. I usually stream old games, role-playing games, or do game design. But today we're just doing some Minecraft because I'm not ready to start like a big series on something right now, so we're just doing some chill chatting and crafting, mining. How is everyone's day? How are you all doing? I hope you all had a lovely start to the new week. And how was Link's Awakening? How was that? You make good progress. I was just getting my ass kicked in Zelda. Oh, okay. I guess that answers that. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. It's just showing off or just giving a small tour of our Minecraft server here and just doing some random maintenance resource gathering stuff. Yeah,
Updated my
nothing too
journal.
intense. But yeah. Hey, Gated Garden Homes. All right, but yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, welcome Raiders. If you do need to, sorry, my mind is not doing great today. If you do need to go rest, have a drink, have a snack, have a stretch, something, please do. Please do take care of yourselves. Otherwise, I have to be honest, I'm not sure how much longer I'll be going. Today will have to be a bit of a shorter stream because there's still other things that I have to do today. That's also one of the reasons why I'm doing Minecraft today. So typically I play old role-playing games on Thursdays and then I play other old games on Tuesdays, which is right now. But because my work schedule is becoming messy for August with a lot of shifts and changes just for that month, I decided not to start anything big now in case I won't be able to stream regularly in August. And I don't want to start something and then be like, whoop, I cannot stream the next 3 weeks. And then the next time I come back, it'll be forever. So that's why we're doing this today. Minecraft is an old game. You know what? You win this one. Okay. Yeah, fine. Fair. Fair. It is an old game. It's too well known for what I usually stream though. Like the old games I stream are games that no one really knows other than people who grew up with them or who are really into old games. So things like Caesar 3 or what else I stream? Rise of Legends or Titan Quest, right? Actual like old games like that. That a lot of people may not have even heard of. Even though Titan Quest 2 is going to come out soon, right? Which again, is like I think the Titan Quest came out 2006 and then a fan-made expansion for it came out 2016 or so, which is already crazy to think about. Now in 2024 or maybe next year. I'm not exactly sure on the news. Titan Quest 2 is gonna come out. So again, another game that left quite a big impression. Yeah, I do gotta get out of here, but I hope you have a rest of your... Yeah, right. Thank you for the raid. Thanks again. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, rest of your time zone. So yeah, thank you for entrusting your community to me. Yeah, that's basically, and then I rant a lot. That's usually what I do. But right now we're just doing some Minecraft stuff. Like I've been, so what I wanted to, I'm almost indoors. There we go. What I want to do, right? So some villages here have already been claimed and have been adjusted, as you can see here. And I want to claim, because I'm crazy, I want to claim this area here and build a city. So I was looking at, oh, there's already a village here. Nice. Right. There is a natural harbor over here. That's pretty cool. There's something of a river, and the river, I can probably extend it along here. Like, it looks like it's supposed to go along here, right, all the way up and then flow over here. That would be a lot of terraforming, but it's doable, I think. Right? And then I could have a city over in this place. Very advantageous and massive. Yes, I know. It's really good for a place. I know that's I was looking around the map and I was like, oh, natural harbor with a couple of islands. Like I can have some sort of lighthouse or like the Colossus type light tower thing on this island, right? There's already a village. I can build some things here. I can make a massive bridge and have like a bridge district, like the old London Bridge that had houses on it and such. So this is pretty exciting. But that means I need to terraform this. I need to flatten the terrain a bit. And that means I will generate a lot of dirt and stone. But that's too much for our sorter to hold. So it's like, why not just convert some of that into mud and clay? Since we have the buildings for it. So this is a mud farm or a mud generator where you just place down dirt and it becomes mud. And then we have a clay generator where we place down mud and becomes clay. So that's just what I'm doing here right now. So I do think that I will have to end it at some point relatively soon. How long have I been going? Okay, I might end it sometime in the 3rd hour. So the air raid drill is done, so that's no longer a concern. Right, it's just for half an hour. So what we have here is we have actual air raid drills, because China is a thing. So what we have is we have this huge sirens that blare out, and it's like you can hear it everywhere, no matter where you are. And during one of these drills, this one took half an hour, so from 1:30 to 2, which means it's over now. You are not allowed to be outside. So you have to go indoors, right? You have to, like, if you're outside, you have to go into whatever buildings there are, right? Stores or like banks or whatever public building, right? You have to go indoors. If you're driving, you have to park your car on the side of the road, and then you have to, like, effectively, you need to go out of your car and go into a building as well. Well, most people just kind of sit in their cars on the side of the road. Everything, including buses, including everything else, it just stands still. until we get the all clear signal, which happened 10 minutes ago. So these drills happen every now and then. They are announced, of course, which is why I knew something was going to happen, but they are a thing. And they are a reality of living under the shadow of an authoritarian imperialist power right next door. So that's life here in Taiwan. It's sometimes it's funny because I grew up here, so I grew up with those things and I knew exactly what they are. But sometimes it's funny if you have people visiting and they don't know about this and they get surprised. It's like, oh my god, what are all these loud sirens in the entire city? What is happening? And that happened once. I was out with a friend from Germany who didn't know about this, and we're just having lunch somewhere, and then suddenly we hear the sirens go off, and I was like, "Oh, okay, air raid drill." And she was just like, "What's happening? What's going on?" And I told her, "Yeah, no, we have to stay inside here now. we have to sit in this restaurant for a while longer." And you could see all of the cars outside just stopping, because if you the whole point is if you get caught during a drill not doing what the drill tells you to, like, you get fined. Right, so all the cars just kind of park. There are still people walking around because, yeah, it's quote unquote just the drill. But yeah, again, if you get caught, it's like police will just shoo you into a store. Things like, just go indoors. But that you're prepared. I know. It's, but at the same time, it's a constant reminder of the reality of living here. It's mostly regulation more than anything else. It's like every single public building must have an air raid shelter. Every single one. Right? Every department store, every bigger public building, right? Our school, every office building, every school. Our school had that as well when they built our school building, our new one. They had to build in an air raid shelter into the mountain. Oh, okay. And they had to store food in it and all that stuff. So that was a whole thing. So that's a lot of it is just regulation that you have to, like, that doesn't affect everyday people. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, China exists, and China being China as they are right now, you have to take precautions. Like, are they actually gonna invade? Probably not. Probably not, but you never know how much of the saber rattling is actually just posturing and how much of it is them losing their patience, right? So, and it can happen at any time. Just look at Russia or Israel. It's just like, yeah, no, we're done sitting around. Let's just throw some actual bombs. And yeah, it's, you never know. I mean, the one thing that kind of helps is that there is an aircraft carrier here. There's a U.S. aircraft carrier over here. And that's a big deterrent. Right? And the U.S. at the very least pays lip service to protecting Taiwan, keeping an aircraft carrier over here. It's usually stationed in Japan, right? Because stationing it in Japan is not as provocative as stationing it in Taiwan, but small difference, right? It's basically next door. I think it's usually stationed in Okinawa, and Okinawa is like a stone's throw away from Taiwan. I mean, it's a Japanese island, but it's if if you look at any map, it's like an hour of flight away or so. So they can be here in an afternoon if anything actually happens. Uh, thank you for those redeems. And yeah, oh, I also realized there was a hydrate redeem I missed earlier. So yeah, thank you for those. For the stretch. I mean, if we're living here, if you're living here, it's not something that's constantly on your mind, right? You just live your life. Um, every now and then, it's like every now and then it does come to the forefront, and you're like, oh right, that's a thing. Like we just had our presidential election, and one of the biggest things whenever a new president is elected is like, how are they going to deal with China, right? What is their approach to dealing with China? That is always a huge thing that you always look out for in a new president. Or sometimes we have a drill, like like today, and then you get reminded, all right, yeah, that's happening. I guess if you are a soldier, that's more often on your mind. Um, so, um, but yeah, I mean, life goes on, right? And nothing has happened since. Nothing has really happened since the what 50s or 60s, right? Um, and in a large part, I think the way like people have reacted to Russia invading Ukraine has made a Chinese invasion of Taiwan less likely, right? Because everyone rallied behind Ukraine and was like, "Oh, we have to help them. We have to collect money for charity. We have to send, I don't know, medicine and food. We have to send weapons." And everyone is like selling Ukraine or just sending them a lot of weapons and such. And I mean, some of them are being not a bit jerky about it. Again, U.S. um, right. But in general, it's like there's huge support for Ukraine, and Russia is basically getting demonized right now. And that is kind of showing, oh, if China does the same to Taiwan, it's very, very likely that people are going to rally behind Taiwan and demonize China if they actually do any military action, right? Because that's exactly what happened with Russia. It's mostly Republicans and tankies that oppose. Yeah, seriously, tankies are like, why? Why are you? Right? It's like it's not even that. It's like if I could, how do I phrase this? It's like they're not so much communist as they are authoritarian, right? That's the driving point. Oh, hello. Hello, Amon. How are you doing? A new ground type? Not really. This is just mud. This is mud. It's been in there. It's been in the game for a long time. Oh yeah, how are you doing? But yeah, like most people are actually rallying behind Ukraine. And most importantly, it's a lot of big influential governments that are doing so, right? Like NATO is fast tracking the Ukraine's entry into there. A lot of other countries are joining the NATO. The NATO are joining NATO, however you say it. You water the ground that automatically. Yeah, this is a mud farm. We have a whole thing. I didn't build it. Someone else on the server built it. But this is a whole thing where you just place place a block down, and then it automatically waters the dirt block, create mud. Yeah, it's quite convenient, so you don't have to do it yourself. Creeper? Oh, hello. Thank you for warning me. Yeah, don't want them blowing up stuff. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so that kind of helped to know where we stand. But still, you know, it's a thing. The whole thing. Okay, I don't have an axe. So let me grab something real quick. I can deal with the creeper. I don't want that there. We used to have a setting that creepers don't explode blocks. Well, when they explode, they deal damage, but they don't destroy any blocks. But because of the version update, that plugin got turned off. And now they do destroy things again. Oh, good. Where is there you go. Ah! I didn't know there was a cave down here. God dang it, now I gotta repair this. Okay. Yeah, that was unfortunate. And it's empty, so it looked a lot worse than it was, than it actually is. It's just a couple of dirt blocks mostly. But it looks a lot worse, mainly because it's empty underneath. Okay. Cherry flower. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, I need to patch up this here so we don't see empty stuff under. At least it didn't destroy any structures, any buildings. That would have been. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Why? Okay, there's phantoms. Okay. Always build a back door. Yes, I don't have a back door. Where are you? Do I not have my sword with me? I put it away. Not smart. Come and get me! I know I can get rid of them just by sleeping, but I don't want to sleep over here. Where's the second creep? Oh, hello.
Endure. In
There's an
enduring,
at
grow
break.
strong.
Perfect timing for at break. Okay. There's a third creeper somewhere here. Ah, this is Creeper City. Ah, yes, yes. Where's the third creeper? So maybe. Okay. I think I just need to go to sleep. So the reason I'm not going to sleep here is because I'm using the bed as a teleport point. So I can set a single teleport point as home, which is my house, so I can return to the spawn village. But because the village I'm building on right now is so far away, I don't want to have to travel there every single time I go. So what I instead do is I have a bed over there that acts as my respawn point. So what I do is like this, respawn, and now I'm here. Was that it? Okay. So now I'm down here, right? And now that it's day again and I've slept, I can go back home, and now I'm back in the spawn village. So that's what I'm using it for, which is why it's a bit messy. Are the creepers underground? Possibly? I see them on the map, but I don't see them anywhere near, so they might be underground. Okay. I realized I just explained all of that teleportation stuff during the ad, so not everyone may have seen that. I apologize. But yeah, I think I'm almost done here anyway. Like I just wanted to get rid of some of the dirt. To not have to overload the auto sorter. Okay, now the ad is done. I explained the whole teleportation thing. I can show it off again if people want. It's not difficult. But essentially, we are allowed one teleport waypoint thing. And I use that to teleport back home to the spawn village. And then in order to travel to my building site with the village that I'm building on, I use my bed to respawn. So just jump off a cliff here, respawn at the village, and then when I type /home, I can come back here. That's what I'm doing. Okay. I'm not. That is interesting. It's basically just me abusing the system as much as I can because I hate traveling all that way. The village I chose is pretty far away from the spawn, so that's essentially why I'm doing it this way. Okay, I think I'm done with the mod for now. Basically, we don't have unlimited space in the auto sorter, so I don't want to put so much dirt in it that it breaks it or anything. So I'm converting some of it to mud, and then some of it to clay, which is not happening. Please become clay. I got to head off though. Have a great time zone. Exploits are fine. Minecraft isn't a competitive game. You are very right. Sometimes it can be, but we aren't playing. But yeah, have a good time zone as well. Thank you for hanging out. and I hope I will see you soon. How does mud become clay? Okay, so this is all hidden underneath, but essentially underneath all of these wood blocks are dripstone, right? So kind of a setup like this, right? Where we have, so how this works, this is unlimited lava, right? So we have some block, and above this block is lava. So we put some lava into there, and then we have this dripstone underneath, and that just takes the lava and drips it into a cauldron, and this becomes a new block of lava without depleting the top one. And this works similarly, right? We have these blocks here, and right underneath these blocks are dripstone like this. What that does is it draws the water out of the mud, apparently, and turns it into clay. And this only works with mud. Right? Any other type of block you put up here, the dripstone won't do anything. Other than, I believe, lava and water might do something as well. Right? So this is a special interaction. You put mud on a block that has dripstone pointing underneath it, and then over time the mud will become clay. But it's a random tick kind of deal. So this clay has been sitting here for a long time and it's still mud. Or this mud has been sitting here for a long time and it still hasn't turned into clay. So yeah, that's essentially how it works. So if I can I show this? Yeah. See? So underneath here, the whole field is just dripstone. And that's a special interaction in Minecraft with mud. Which is pretty cool. Because that means a lot of things are infinite. Right? Lava is infinite with this. Water is also infinite. It's pretty simple. And because those two are infinite, stone becomes infinite. And then stone is infinite, therefore moss is infinite because you can take moss and take a moss block, use some bone meal on it, and any nearby stone, like a random nearby stone, gets turned to moss. And then moss is infinite, and you can then use spruce saplings to turn moss into podzol. So podzol becomes infinite. And then because podzol is infinite, dirt becomes infinite, right? If you just shovel it up normally. And then because dirt is infinite, mud becomes infinite, then clay becomes infinite, terracotta becomes infinite, and glazed terracotta becomes infinite. So there's a lot of things that are just infinite once you have this cycle going. It do just be dripping onto stone. Yep. Wait, gravel? Gravel is also infinite? It is? How is... I have not heard of that one before. Do please explain. Gravel and rock. What do you mean by rock? If you mean stone, then that is... Yeah, that is just lava flowing into water. Might be a mix-up. I mean, I honestly don't know. Right? I don't know if gravel is infinite. Some things are technically infinite because you can buy them from villagers or traders, but that's right. Lava plus water equals lava plus water equals stone. That's how you get the whole cycle going. Right? So you can build a stone generator by setting up lava flowing into water, and that creates stone. Vanilla just became create. Yeah. Like once you have all of these generators and like, right, iron is infinite with the iron farm. There's a lot of things that become infinite. Anything that you can grow is basically infinite, including animals, right? Cows can be infinite, chicken can be infinite, and so on. That's why I have this chicken auto cooker, right? Because I get infinite chicken. Look at how many eggs. Look at how many eggs I have. I don't need this chest. But look at this. Look at how many eggs I have. Feathers. This is also all eggs. Look at this. This is dumb. I don't need this many eggs. And I cannot put them into the sorter because they don't stack up to 64. They only stack up to 16 for some reason. They added a way to make basalt or gravel or something. Oh! Yes, I remember. There is a way to make basalt using lava and water, which is why you can make auto pavers, basalt pavers, right? Because you can make a redstone machine that just kind of moves along on its own using slime and such. We have one of those. Oh no, it's not water. It's ice. If you put lava onto ice, it creates basalt. I believe that is what it is. Wait, we have here, we have this thing that just moves across, harvests all of the things, right? And because blue ice, yeah, that thing. Oops. And because you can have that, because you can have a redstone machine thing that moves along like this, I've seen people build pavers. Like you go into, say, the Nether or somewhere, and you just have something that paves a basalt bridge on its own. Right? Just you have it generate and deposit basalt, and then it moves one tile further, generates and deposits the basalt, moves one tile further, and so on and so forth. Um, that is really, really cool to see. So you can just have like road pavement just being built on its own. Let me use up some more dirt, I guess, while we're waiting for that one piece of mud to become clay. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of things that you can use to generate infinite things, like even gold, right? Once you're in the Nether and you're on the Nether roof, you can generate infinite gold. You can make a gold farm, which is pretty cool. But building a gold farm is such a pain because you have to use magma blocks. And so you're constantly sneaking in order not to take damage while walking around the magma blocks. And that's... it slows down everything by so much. So... yeah. But still, it's nice that we have all of these farms. So once you get a trading hall going, right, it opens up so many possibilities. Heck, you can even have infinite villagers with a villager breeder. Right? Which is exactly what we have. But yeah, that one was a pain because the villagers never cooperate. Right? I was trying to get them to come here. I used boats to ship them up here. And then at some point I learned that you can use job blocks to lure them. Except the barrel is also a job block. And this building, in this side house here, there are a couple of barrels, mostly for decoration. But while I was shipping a villager over, the villager managed to escape, promptly ran into here, and became a fisherman. It's like, why do you do this to me? Luckily, someone else was online at the time and was able to help me wall things off to keep the villager corralled. But still, it wasn't a lot of fun. You could set up a hopper minecart to go under the magma. Get stuff for you, depositing it onto a hopper sorting system. Does that work? Does it grab things from Wait, the sea calls him. Yes. Set up a hover mine, go under the magma. Grab the stuff for you. That's not, no, it's not about grabbing the stuff. It's about building. It's about building the magma platform because you have to build a gigantic magma platform um in order to for the gold farm because you need zombie piglins to spawn and nothing else. Right? And zombie piglins can spawn on magma blocks and nothing else spawns on there. So you get those and because when they die, they sometimes drop golden weapons. And that's what you use to farm the gold. Right? You turn the golden weapons into ingots. That's basically how it works. So building the large magma platforms takes forever because you're just sneaking around all the time on there and so that you don't get burned. And if you're not careful, then it spawns ghasts and like there is a way to ghast proof it, but not while you're building it necessarily. So it's like whole thing. Oh, it finally turned into clay. There we go. About time. Oops. Ah. I remember doing a lot of these things manually, like turning dirt into clay, turning dirt into mud manually by running around with a bunch of water bottles and just flinging them onto each dirt block by myself. So that took a while. I'm so glad we have the automated things now. Probably the weirdest farm I've ever seen or used is a ghast farm. Ooh, weird that I have a little clue how it works or what you'd make it that way. That's interesting. I didn't know that you can make a ghast farm. Huh. Okay. I mean, anything where you can kind of manipulate how they spawn, you can make a farm. Like you can make a guardian farm as well, right? There's a couple of ocean monuments around that we can choose from. Right? Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. There's another couple ones over here, for instance. Um, so I've seen one of those ones before. The first Guardian farm I ever saw, because how that one worked is that it funneled all of the Guardians through a Nether portal, and then the actual burning of the Guardians happened in the Nether. And I accidentally fell in there with the Guardians, got washed into the Nether portal, and was just like, "Why are all these campfires here?" And then I'd burned to death. That was a surprise. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know how Guardian Farm actually worked. Luckily, someone else was there with me who was showing off all the farms that they had on the server. And it was like, it's okay, all your stuff made it through. We just have to pick it up from all these chests. But still, that was an experience. Um Basically, you need two people, one in the nether to spawn ghasts, and one in the overworld to kill them on the other side. Oh! Huh! That's fascinating. Portal-based farm designs are really weird. They are. Use a lot of Guardian farms, and everyone that does it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you usually do it. But that's the only one I saw. I think that one has the benefit of not needing to clear out a whole bunch of ocean. You only need to clear out a little bit in order to get so that the guardians can wash, like that you have a current and that it washes them into the portal and that's it. But yeah, I think that's how it worked basically. Um it is really fascinating. I used to be on a server with someone, like the server was owned by someone who like really understands how Minecraft works and how redstone works and how to build it all stuff. Like the dude built an auto sorter and villager trading hall. Like he built a villager trading hall in the end so that you can do unlimited trades using an end portal. His farm was properly guarded. Indeed. But essentially what he did was in the end, right, you have some portals that lead to some of the outer islands. So he built a villager trading hall on one of those. And how that works is you grab a villager, right? So you grab the villager gets carted down to a minecart right in front of the portal. You click on the villager to open the trading window, step into the portal, you get ported far enough away that the villager despawns. Right? And what that allows you to do is it allows you to do unlimited trades with the villager. Because the trading window was still open, right? And you could do unlimited trades with the villager. Because usually what happens is after a handful of trades, the villager says, okay, I'm done, and then stops trading. But with that method, it allows you to trade as much as you want. And then what you do then afterwards is just step through the other side of the portal, go back in, and then send the villager back into the trading hall. So that's like, what? That's a thing? And he managed to build a huge trading hall in the end, along with some farms. And he managed to put water in the nether. He found a way to get water in the nether. Like, huh? So we had a sugarcane farm in the nether. Right? It's like, okay, sure. Let's go. What we see is people usually drain the oceans. Yeah, exactly. And just bubble column to the monument, funnel the guardians to where they die. Yeah, exactly. But using a portal is apparently a lot less work. You know, we joke about slavery in Minecraft, it's actually literally just exploiting workers by forcing them to business without their consent. It is, yeah. I am, look at me. I am the capitalist overlord now. Yeah, apparently you can use cave lichen and use a strange bug that's in Minecraft to get water in the nether. Water in the fire. Why? Water in the nether. Why? Channeling my inner Korone. Yeah, I don't know. He explained it. He has videos online. So his name is Kigurumi. He has a YouTube channel. Let me just type the name. So if you want to search it, Kigurumi, I think is how it's spelled. He has a YouTube channel where he does all of these crazy builds and explains what he's doing. And I think he has a video on there where he explains how to get water. The water in the nether. But I didn't fully understand it. It's like the strange sequence of you destroy the cave lichen in the nether in a very specific way, and that bugs out the game and makes it spawn water instead. I don't know exactly what he does. He explains it, but I didn't quite follow. It was just too weird. But yeah, that's essentially how he managed to get water in there. So yeah, and then he built a lot of huge projects. Range bug sounds fitting for a game that creates explosive pigs per accident. I heard about it. I forgot what that was about. I remember like very dimly hearing about, oh right, explosive pigs. Yeah, I heard about that in the list of strange things in Minecraft, but I forgot what they were about. Creeper was the attempt to program. Oh, oh, okay. So they programmed a pig, but then some weird bug made it explode, and that just became the creeper. Right. Huh. Okay. That explains a lot, I think. Um, the form was wrong, and the wobbly thing came out. It changed the color and call it a day. Fair enough. You just mixed up the length and height of the body. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, if you put this thing upright, you essentially get a creeper. Right. Okay, okay. Um, yeah. Makes a lot of sense. That's why creepers are slightly shorter than the player. Right. And that's what allows you to build a creeper farm. It's like, how do you make sure that on a creeper farm, only creepers spawn? Well, you make it slightly shorter so that skeletons and zombies can't. And then you place carpet in a weird pattern so that spiders can't spawn. Like, oh, okay. It's like a lot, what I wish a lot of these videos would do, like if you have building tutorials, right, building tutorial videos, a lot of them just show you, oh yeah, do this, then do this, then do that. I was like, okay, cool, but I would like you to explain to me why you're doing this. Why am I building it this particular way? So a lot of creeper farm videos were just like, okay, you place blocks like this, then you place trapdoors like this, and then you place carpet like this. I'm like, okay, but why? Until like, I don't know, the fifth video or something on a creeper farm that I watched finally explained. It's like, okay, creepers are slightly shorter, so you place the trapdoors like this so skeletons and zombies can't spawn. And then you place the carpet in this pattern so that spiders cannot spawn. It's like, oh, why not tell me this from the beginning? Yeah, exactly. Why does it work? Right? Because in case anything breaks or I want to modify it slightly for whatever reason, then I know what I'm doing instead of just relying on your one tutorial video and that's it. See, I'm already at 5 blocks of dirt again. um all of a sudden I'm reminded of something someone said on music theory. Why learn music theory? Which makes a lot of sense. So basically he said, why do you learn music theory? Right? When you want to become a musician. Why do you do that? And it's like, because he is a piano teacher. But he also talks a lot about music theory. Ah! Oh. Good thing I didn't die because my bed got blown up. That would have really sucked. Oh my goodness, my bed had blown up. That would have really sucked. And so it was like, okay, why learn music theory? Right? Why do this? What does it bring you as a musician? It was like a lot of students come to him and say, well, I wish to learn piano. Can I practice this song? Oh, like to play games. Hello, new to stream. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful start to the stream. Wonderful start to the week. My brain is mush. I've been talking too much. Um, welcome. I am very sorry. I am going to end relatively soon. I've been going for 3.5 hours. I might go for another 5 to 10 minutes ish. But then I am going to end. But yeah, welcome to the stream regardless. I hope you will have a good time. Uh, what other method? Repeating a blueprint is easy. Yeah, exactly. But knowing why makes it possible to manipulate. Exactly. Maybe design your own. Yes. That's a lot of the redstone videos on Minecraft. It's like build this, build that. It's like, okay, now this redstone thing works, but no one is able to explain why it works. I guess a lot of people who do redstone videos on Minecraft, on YouTube or such, don't actually understand how redstone works. They just saw some other blueprint and were like, okay, this is how we do it now. That's my guess. There's a super basic creeper farm I like to make. Does have a small string byproduct, but not a whole lot. I mean, that's not bad, right? Sometimes you do want, like, oh, okay, yeah, I get string because string is useful. But that's another farm we need to make on here as well. Creeper farm. Instead of whatever redstone clock the tutorial tells me to build, I make a chicken-operated mechanism. It activates the water every time a chicken lays an egg. Oh! That sounds very random, but doable. I had a teacher who answered a similar question. I can teach you this one thing, but without the basics, you can't do more than this. Yes, exactly. That's the point I was trying to make. Hans nodes, but with this, you can do things on your own. Yeah. Exactly. That's the point I was trying to make. So this piano teacher was saying, students often come to him and be like, "Can we practice this one song? I want to learn this one song." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, we can do that if that's what you want." With the caveat that if I teach you this one song, you can only play this one song and nothing else, right? But if you instead learn music theory with some example songs here and there, you will be able to do so much more, and you will be able to understand other songs and understand how they work and how to play them, and maybe do things like improv or learn other types of music, or maybe even make your own songs, right? And all that. So it makes you a more well-rounded musician rather than just a musician who can only play chopsticks or something. Um, Besides, music theory is fascinating. It's such a fascinating topic that, again, not a lot of people know. But it has become one of my special interests. And in fact, I used to play in our school's jazz band. The school had a jazz band, and um, I mean, for one, I had absolute job security in the jazz band. Like, I was always the dude who was gonna be there, because I'm a pianist. I also learned piano for a long time. Um, but in the entire school, because I went to school in Taiwan, and if you know anything about Asian parents, it's like a lot of the students in school were Asian parents, Asian families. Um, Anything about Asian parents is like, yeah, no, they will 100% send their kids to learn some sort of instrument, usually piano. But a lot of piano education or music education here in general is all classical. It's all based on classical music, which, not bad. Classical music is pretty awesome. It's multi-layered. There's a lot of awesome stuff in there, and it teaches you a lot about playing the instrument. Um, but it's not jazz, right? Classical is not jazz. And a lot of people who learn classical, I want to cover my back right now, because anyone who's really into music, deep into music, will understand that classical and jazz aren't actually all that different, or they're not all that different. There are a lot of similarities. Like, if you actually look at classical music, especially things like Beethoven, it's like, yeah, no, I see a lot of jazziness, quote unquote, in there. But a lot of classical music education is just like, play this song, do these finger exercises, right? Similar but has differences. Yeah, there's a lot of basic thought that you can carry over from one to the next. That means every single other pianist in the entire school was classically trained. I was the only pianist in the entire school who started learning with jazz. My piano teacher, when I started learning, started me off with boogies and similar like stride piano pieces. I learned jazz when I started learning piano. So that gave me ultimate job security at the jazz band. We had a couple of other pianists try out, but they just couldn't wrap their head around a jazz state of mind. Yeah, I had a teacher who played a song with note on the notes. A question kind of what song was that? His answer, I don't know. That was totally improvised. Yep, yep, exactly. Um, so what was the point I was trying to make? So during the jazz band playing, right? I was thinking like, all right, we do a lot of improv, we do a lot of like wild, interesting things with the music. Um, well, I did mostly, right? I just played whatever fit the music, and the teachers didn't care. Um, like there was one piece I still remember that was a Christmas medley that we had to play, and everyone got their notes where they played like the various melodies of the different Christmas songs, and all I got was a sheet of just single chords. It's like just every single bar just had one chord, and sometimes was the same as the one before. It's like C chord, C chord, F chord, G chord, C chord, and I was like, wow, really? That's all you're giving me? This is boring as heck. So I just decided I'll use these chords and just improvise whatever I want. And no one said anything. Like I'm pretty sure the teachers knew that I was just playing whatever, but they didn't say anything. So um but at that point I was like, I'm doing so much improv, I'm doing so much just trying to understand the music that I'm playing that I wanted to learn music theory. But no one knew, right? My music teachers didn't know. Strangely enough, they didn't know a lot about music theory in that regard. And this was back in the early 2000s where searching for information online wasn't really a thing yet. So I couldn't go online to search for music theory. Uh, so I was just stuck with that. It's just, oh, well, but now we are really spoiled for choice. Now there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels that do this. There's a whole bunch of blogs and other internet things that introduce music theory. So that's good. I like the teacher who used this moment to show their skills. Yeah, if you can do that, you can really impress the students and say, like, if you learn the things I teach, you can become like this. That's always the best feeling as a teacher. And I say that as a teacher. The German teacher had a presentation and the theme was music and research into a specific person the student can decide. Okay. Even the history teacher worked with, yeah. A few of my teachers like to collaborate one another. Oh, that's cool. That's always nice to see. Pretty sure a lot of jazz composers kind of give the rhythm section something basic, like just the chords, and the musicians improvise exactly to those chords. Yeah. So essentially, a lot of jazz pieces, all you have is the line. So you have melody or the basic idea of the melody, and then the chords that go along with it. That is all you have. And then that's all you use to improv over. And that's all you really need to improv over. Hello. I think this is a cue for me to. I said I was gonna end in about 5 to 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. I think I should just call it here. What I found highly interesting was the shift in tone can do for a song. Yeah, definitely. That is a very simple technique, but very, very effective. I used to teach music theory on my stream. I had a bunch of streams where I taught music theory. I may want to revisit those. Do something along those lines again. Different singer even can change a lot. Yeah, that's why some covers are really, really successful, right? Okay. But yeah, as fun as all of this conversation is, I think I do have to call it. It's 3 p.m. I haven't had food today yet. I need to eat something. My mom was waiting for me to do stuff. I still have to get ready for something later today. So I can't spend too much time on this. Udo Young said I was used by someone else and he commented on this. Yeah. I can imagine. Okay. I will most likely be back on Thursday. For more Baldur's Gate. So I think I'm just gonna continue Baldur's Gate with Siege of Dragonspear and such. It's just I have so much to play. Asia Shavine was this. Okay, I may have to check that out. And let's look for someone to raid. Ooh, there's someone on I don't get to raid a lot. How long has the stream been going? 6 hours. Are you still going? Doesn't. Are they continuing with the stream? Okay, so it worked long to make. Ah. Okay. Maybe it's still going. Anyway, we're gonna. I don't get to rate this person off, so we're gonna rate now. Yeah. Thank you everyone for being here. I wish you a great rest of the week. I will be back on Thursday, most likely, unless things go wrong, with more Baldur's Gate. And then I will have to see what my job tells me, what my working times are for August. So I will have to see how and when I can stream what. Okay, and but yeah, so let's raid. We are going to raid Fauna. Fauna, who is currently playing Honkai Star Rail. And has been streaming for 6 hours. So she's a bit tired, you can hear it. But otherwise, very cool person. Please go say hi to her for me. Thanks for telling if you were a Song 25 user, I shouldn't call curse. Let's see you quit the. Oh no. Alright. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming by. I hope to see you all again soon. Stay hydrated, unlike me. Take care, and bye-bye.